Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bethany. SNU football is live and on the air. An absolutely beautiful day for football here in the great state of Oklahoma as SNU takes on Arkansas Tech. Luke McConnell here alongside Reese Carlson. And Reese, home cooking hopefully is the order of the day for SNU as the Crimson Storm back home for 4 of their final 6 games. Couple tough road losses along the way, including last week's 31-3 loss against Harding, but an opportunity here to right the ship here in the last half of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Tech is a team that SNU has struggled against in years past. And especially last year, they were able to put together a really good first half against Tech. Just weren't able to seal the deal. Ended up losing. Tech scored 17 straight points, and so I think this year it feels a little different. It's a different Arkansas Tech team, different coaching staff, a team that's been struggling significantly this season, and I think this is definitely cooking up to be a good matchup for SNU.
Well, just a very wild series of events for Arkansas Tech. They fired head coach Raymond Monica after last season's 3-8 finish and hired Bo Atterbury from Southeastern, and that was in December. But in March, Atterbury resigned due to health concerns and health reasons. So Kyle Shipp, who was hired as offensive coordinator, came over from Arkansas Monticello with Atterbury. He is now the head coach, and he's a former player and a GA at Arkansas Tech. He's been at Monticello the past 5 years prior to this, but just an not necessarily unprecedented. Things like this have happened in the past, but certainly a very interesting situation, and that has to have an effect on the roster as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially when you're a player, the more turnover you have in the coaching staff, of course, the more just unstable things are going to feel, especially from a culture standpoint, but not to mention if you're trying to run one offense and a coach resigns and all of a sudden you're running another one. Same on the defensive side of the ball. And so, possibly some locker room discontinuity, just a feeling of uneasiness going in, which definitely has an effect on the field as well.
For SNU, again, for their last 6 at home, and Reese, what does that do? We talked to Coach Lambert about this a little bit, and he fully admitted that the schedule does lighten up. It lightens up down the stretch, and having 4 and 6 at home certainly helps as well. What does that do for the roster to kind of step back and take a breath and be like, we're done with the majority of the top teams in the conference? Certainly difficult games still to come, but an opportunity here for SNU to begin to turn the season around.
Yeah, and it always shakes up that way, right? You play your long away games, all the Arkansas schools usually in the beginning of the season, and so SNU is accustomed to just being able to have a lot of home games, at least not traveling a lot later in the season. I think what it does from a player perspective is you feel like you're kind of running nonstop those first couple weeks, whether you're playing a Thursday night, getting up early for school the next day, and then all of a sudden you get a couple consecutive home games toward the end of the season. Things start slowing down a little bit. You feel like you get a little bit of a breather. And so I think for SNU, these next couple of games shake out real well. Like you said, Luke, playing at home, but also the level of opponents is going to be significantly less excellent, I guess you could say, as opposed to the first half of the schedule.
We're going to take a time out here in the pregame show. About 15 minutes to go before kickoff. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Andy Lambert, get his thoughts at the halfway point of the season and what to expect today against the Wonderboys of Arkansas Tech. This is SNU football presented by Crossover Radio Sports. That's head coach Andy Lambert talking about today's game against Arkansas Tech. And Reese, what are your keys for today's game?
Yeah, I think SNU has just struggled to get the ball going, especially on the run game, and we know that's what SNU wants to do. They want to get the run game going as soon as possible, and they're going to give the ball to Gage. No, that's not a surprise, but Gage has struggled running the football this year, just averaging 1.5 yards per carry. And so I think for SNU, like it is most weeks, if they can establish the run game and if they can do it early, take some pressure off Gage, I think things will shape up real well for SNU.
I think the red zone is going to be a big key today. SNU does well in the red zone, but their 6 red zone opportunities is dead last in the conference. The next closest is Southwestern with 13. So not a lot of opportunities for SNU. We talked a little bit about it with Coach Lambert as far as the line of demarcation for SNU seems to have been the 40-yard line this year. Just hitting the 40-yard line is, for some reason, a big struggle for SNU. So I think the red zone opportunities are going to be big. Arkansas Tech next to last behind or in front of SNU as far as allowing opponents to score. SNU has allowed all 18 opponent opportunities in the red zone to result in points. Arkansas Tech allowing 16 of those 18. So just 2 opportunities different separate 11 and 12. So I think offensive opportunities are going to be there aplenty for both teams today, and it will be interesting to see who capitalizes on those. Reese, who are your players to watch for SNU today?
I'd really like to see Nate Walker get going. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry this season, and a guy who was second-team all-conference last year. Unfortunately, just hasn't had a ton of touches this season. And so I think if SNU can get him going, get him some fly sweeps, maybe get a couple bubbles to him, he's a guy who matches up real well. He's going to be quicker, shiftier than most guys he's playing against on defense. And so I think if SNU is outmatched anywhere on the other side of the ball, they can look to a guy like Nate Walker and be confident that he's going to be able to come through and make some plays.
We're going to go other side of the ball with number 34 middle linebacker Jake Hansen. He's had a tremendous past couple weeks. He's got 38 tackles this season, 1 tackle for loss, but he's going to be facing a strong test in the middle with running back Wallace Foote. And Wallace Foote, a very fascinating story for Arkansas Tech. His freshman season was 2013. He dropped out of school. Now 6 years later, he's back as a true sophomore, a 24-year-old true sophomore for Arkansas Tech. So he's a literal grown man out there for the Wonderboys. So Jake Hansen's going to have a tall test there. Wallace Foote averaging 6 yards per carry, 323 yards on 54 attempts this season. He's number 10 in yards per game in the conference at 64.5 yards per game. So 2 players to watch, Jake Hansen and Nate Walker for your Crimson Storm. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the kickoff and the opening series for SNU right after this here on Crossover Radio Sports. What's up? Welcome back to Bethany. SNU will be kicking off to the Wonderboys to start this one as we count down to kickoff at SNU Football Stadium. The Crimson Storm coming into today's game 1-4. Arkansas Tech again looking for their first win this season. And Reese, you've been in this situation before where wins have been hard to come by. Is there a sense of desperation right now in the SNU locker room at all?
I think not yet. I think you're coming off, last time you were here, you had a victory. And so I think, of course, starting out 1-4, you're going to have a sense of, oh my gosh, when's this thing going to end? Certainly that's the case. I don't think at this point in the season, SNU is feeling like if we don't win today, our season's all but finished. I don't think that's the attitude, but certainly a great opportunity for the Storm today.
Ryan Reed set to kick off, and thanks for joining us again. SNU football presented on Crossover Radio Sports from a different perspective, and it is a gorgeous day. Light breeze, mid-60s for a high, and we are underway here in Bethany. Reed's kick is going to come down to number 21. That's going to be, let's see here, 21 is DeAndre Irvin, and he takes it up to the 30-yard line, and that is where Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 10 against this SNU defense. Crimson Storm have struggled particularly in the run game, giving up almost 260 yards per game. That's last in the conference. But the pass defense has been better. Part of that is they've played two of the worst passing offenses, or the most indifferent passing offenses in the conference so far. The quarterback is Mason Cunningham. He gives it to Caleb Beatty, plows through the middle of the defense, and he's going to pick up 5 on first down for the Wonderboys. Tristan McCubbins and Trent Smith in on that tackle.
Yeah, I think one thing, Luke, that'll be interesting to watch, at least on the Arkansas Tech side, is going to be that running back combination, Caleb Beatty and Wallace Foote, two big backs, Beatty at 210 and 215. Going to prove to be some difficult tackles for SNU.
Beatty is going to be wrangled at the line of scrimmage. That's Landon Walker from that far defensive end. Came down the line and was able to make the tackle after a gain of just 1. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Wonderboys here on their opening possession.
Yeah, Landon Walker definitely having a good year for SNU. Has a few sacks, TFLs, and he's just been a bright spot as a first-year football player for SNU.
Cunningham lined up in the pistol. Tucker Kennedy, the tight end, with him. Trey Smith, the wide receiver, in motion. Cunningham running the option on the far side. He's going to get the first down as he crosses the 40 up to the 41-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Wonderboys coming up. Cunningham, the 3rd quarterback the Wonderboys have rolled out there this year. They started the year with Manny Harris, went to Carter Burcham, and then Mason Cunningham has played the last 2. And he slips down in the backfield, and that's going to be 1-yard loss. And then Angel Hernandez is going to be tagged for a 15-yard penalty after the play as he knocked into Cunningham after Cunningham had already slipped and gone down. So that 15-yard self-inflicted penalty is going to move the ball into SNU territory to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's one of those fouls that looks worse than it actually is. The quarterback is running option to the left. Angel Hernandez pursues right side, and the quarterback just slips, and Angel kind of just keeps on his path and just kind of taps him. Unfortunately, it looked like a big hit and called the flag on him there.
2 wide receivers right. Option look to Cunningham. Pitch out to Beatty. Looked almost forward, but Trent Smith and Noah Campbell all over that play. And they drop Beatty for a 2-yard loss back to the 46-yard line. Excellent pursuit there by Trent Smith coming down from his safety position.
Well, there's no doubt Arkansas Tech wants to run the football, and they want to do it inside the tackles as well as onto the perimeter. That's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen that option play, and that time SNU not only was able to contain the quarterback but also account for the running back, Beatty, as well.
So 2nd and 12, 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Cunningham going down the seam. He's got a man. SNU turns around. Defenders were there, and no flag coming up. It looked like Noah Campbell might have gotten there a smidge early, but no flag there. Trent Smith and Josh Jordan also back there. The pass was intended for Trey Smith.
Yeah, good safety help over the top that time. They had him in the slot, and Arkansas Tech had the man beat man-to-man, and luckily the help over the top there was able to break up the pass.
A little bit of breeze coming from the south, a little bit more stiff than probably what we expected today. Cunningham with 5 wide receivers, quick out, and threw it a little early for number 86 there, Brennan Lewis. And that pass falls incomplete, and that's going to force a punt for the Wonder Boys.
Yeah, if you're SNU, you got to be feeling real confident. They get a couple first downs, all of a sudden try to start throwing the football, and they go for 2, and SNU is able to force a 4th down here.
Tyler Dunlap, number 3 in punting average this season, on to punt. He's averaging 43 yards per boot this season. Looking to pin the Crimson Storm deep. And it's going to be blocked. Jaden Simmons got there. Ball is loose. And SNU picks it up. It's Colby Branch. He's going to take it in for an SNU touchdown. What a way to start this one for the Crimson Storm. Johnny on the spot. Colby Branch was able to pick up the loose ball and take it to the house, but it was Jaden Simmons who came through the shield and got the punt block. What an incredible start to this one for SNU. Ryan Reed on for the extra point. He sends it up, and it is good. And just like that, SNU doing things on special teams to take a 7-0 lead. 11:57 to go, first quarter. Crimson Storm leading this one 7-0. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, SNU back on defense, but with a lead here on Crossover Radio Sports. Welcome back to Bethany. SNU leading 7-0. Just 3 minutes gone by in this one, and it's the special teams that come up with a huge play. Jaden Simmons with the punt block. Colby Branch picks up the loose ball and takes it to the house. And just like that, Reese, a huge momentum play for SNU to start this one. Yeah,
it's big time, especially if you're a team that's struggled to score points on the offensive side of the ball. If you get a big special teams play early in the game, that's just going to up the momentum, the confidence. The offense, for the first time really hardly this entire season, is going to play with a lead. And so that just does wonders for both your offense and your defense. It was a great play by Colby Branch. Kind of wait to see if the Tech guy is going to touch the ball again to then go pick it up and scoop and score. Great play.
So Ryan Reed kicking off. Irvin back deep. This is going to come down to Tyrus Fort, and it's going to bounce over his head through the end zone for a touchback. So Arkansas Tech will start at the 25-yard line, and you're right, Reese. Just the second time this season SNU offense has been playing with a lead. The other time going to be back here, the last home game against Southeastern, when SNU led 7-0 at halftime before falling behind 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Of course, we all know the great rally that SNU staged there, and hopefully SNU will be able to just continue to extend this lead throughout the afternoon. So Arkansas Tech on the far hash Wide receiver to either side, and Wallace Foote in the backfield beside quarterback Mason Cunningham. Fakes the pass out to Drew Wade, and he picks up 7 on first down.
Yeah, it looked like the same play they ran on third down here a little while ago, just a timing stop route. Last time Cunningham threw it a little early. That time, perfect timing. Was able to pick up about 7 on that.
2 wide receivers right. Tucker Kennedy comes to the right as well. The give is to Foote. Makes a man miss in the hole, and he'll cross the 35-yard line. Pushes the pile up to the 40. To a strong gain of 8 there for Wallace Foote, and a first down for the Wonderboys. Dylan Metter opting to go with the neck roll today, and as any middle linebacker should.
Classic look.
Cunningham gives to Foote, again plows up the middle, and Jake Hansen right there in the middle brings him down after a 5-yard pickup. So positive yardage there for Arkansas Tech on first down, brings up second down and 5.
Yeah, interesting how Tech is doing this running back substitutions. We saw Beatty take the first series, and so far Foote is taking all of the reps of this second series.
Cunningham fakes the run, leaves that pass short of Wade, and a flag flies in from the back of the secondary, and I think they're going to get Jaquel Davis with a pass interference, potentially a hold. Not sure what the call is going to be. It's going to be one of the two for sure. The field judge explaining to Davis what the problem was. So it's going to be a pass interference on Jaquel Davis, and then the spot foul will give Arkansas Tech a first down at the SNU 49-yard line. 10:31 to go first quarter. SNU leading 7-0. Wide receiver either side for Tech here on first down. Give is to Foote once again. Josh Jordan meets him in the backfield, and his friends get there to drop him for a 1-yard loss. Angel Hernandez and Dylan Metter in on the stop, but Josh Jordan's penetration, the first contact there, and allowed SNU to gain tackle Wallace Foote in the backfield.
Yeah, Josh Jordan just does a great job of playing on his toes. He's not a safety who's going to sit back and wait for a pass. He's leading the team with 40 tackles this far, and so great job of him filling the gap there and making first contact.
So 2nd and 11 in Arkansas Tech, receiver either side. Give is to Foote again up the middle. This time it's Jazz Pitts who gets in there and takes down Foote for a 1-yard gain. So 3rd and 10 upcoming for SNU, and an opportunity for the Storm to pin their ears back a little bit. They haven't had a lot of these opportunities this season, but a big opportunity here to, again, make a big stop and get the ball back to the offense for the first time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they want to do. So far, they've tried to run that timing stop route about 3 times. Let's see if they go back to it.
Swing pass out to Foote, one-on-one with Noah Campbell, and Campbell with a great open field tackle. It's going to be no gain on 3rd down, and that will force an Arkansas Tech punt. Great job for Noah Campbell, sophomore from Baytown, Texas, making a really nice one-on-one tackle with a guy who is a little bit bigger than him.
And maybe 10 years older.
Just a little bit older, too. Reed Roloffs back to receive inside the 15-yard line. Actually, that's Dalton Sanders out there. Dunlop gets this punt away. Bounces. No, that is Roloffs. And he's going to be taken down inside the 15 at the 13-yard line is where they're going to mark that. So that's where SNU will take over. 1st and 10. We'll take time out here on the field. 8:35 to go first quarter. SNU leading 7-0 over Arkansas Tech, and the SNU offense coming up for the first time right after this. SNU on offense for the first time today with a 7-0 lead. Crimson Storm starting at their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Gage Porter, junior quarterback from Elk City, Oklahoma. At quarterback, Christian Schellmeyer and Nate Walker in the backfield with him. Roll-off split out to the left side. He comes in motion. Porter fakes it to him, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield for a big loss. Deidrick Dugan got off the end of the line very quickly and takes down Porter for a 3-yard loss on 1st down. So 2nd and 13, quickly a negative play for the Crimson Storm. Diamond formation now, 2 wide receivers right for SNU. As Porter takes a break to look at the sideline. Play clock down to 5. Porter finally gets the play set. Option look, Porter trying to get outside, and Dugan again there to take Porter down for another loss, back to the 10-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 15 now for SNU, and not a great start here for SNU on offense.
No, it's not, and they were just trying to run a kind of a speed option to the left side with read roll-offs going around with that kind of circle motion behind the quarterback, and the pitch wasn't there, but neither was the keep for Gage.
Roll-offs comes in motion. Porter fakes it to him, tries to cut back. He's got some space, one-on-one, stiff arm, and he's going to get out of bounds very close to the marker. Let's see where they mark this. The head linesman has his foot right at the 25-yard line. That's where the ball is down. We'll see what the spot is, and they give him for the 1st down. Great job by Gage Porter. The stiff arm on Deandra Irvin, enough to get SNU the 1st down on 3rd and 15.
Yeah, Gage just, his personality isn't going to be a guy who wants to run out of bounds. He's going to want to run you over or throw the stiff arm. And so great extra effort there by Gage to get that extra yard for the 1st down.
1st and 10, SNU at the 25-yard line. Porter following Schellmeyer right into the middle of the defense, and he's going to be taken down there after a gain of 2. Trey Chisholm in on the tackle, along with a host of Wonderboy defenders. It's like Danny Guajardo getting the start at left tackle today. Grayson Winters at left guard, Hunter Flanagan at right tackle, Caleb Bates at right guard, and senior Hunter Jones in the middle at center for the SNU offensive line. It's shuffled around a lot this year. Porter with the keeper trying to find some space. Trey Chisholm did a nice job of penetration, and he forced Porter to cut back into the middle of the defense where Gio Williams and Chris Kale were there waiting. No gain on the play, so 3rd down and 8 for SNU. 6:47 to go, or 5:45 to go, 1st quarter.
So far, we're seeing a lot of what SNU has tried to do in the past. We know they're going to try to run Gage Porter, and especially on the draw plays, we've seen a couple of those, couple option looks. So nothing too surprising this far from SNU.
2 wide receivers left. Vance Hooper out to the right. Nate Walker goes in motion. Porter takes the snap. Looking for Sanders on the slant. His jersey was pulled. Back judge did not throw a flag, and the pass is incomplete, and SNU will be forced to punt. Not sure how the back judge or the side judge down here missed that, but very obvious jersey grab there on Dalton Sanders. Either way, it brings up 4th down, and SNU will be punting back to the Wonder Boys.
Yeah, that's one of SNU's vertical concepts where the inside receiver is going to try to take the middle of the field, and Dalton Sanders is able to get open, just not quite able to make the catch.
Ryan Reed with a tremendous punt. Tyrus Fort feels it at the 22, and there's nobody down there to help him. He does get it up to the 20. Oh, they're going to mark him up at the 30-yard line. He didn't get anywhere close to the 30-yard line. But that's where they're going to spot it.
That's
odd, to say the least. He did not get anywhere close to the 30-yard line, and that's where the side judge marked it, and that's where Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 10. As SNU comes back out on defense, already to the 3rd possession for Arkansas Tech. Mason Cunningham, still the quarterback. Beatty is back in at running back. And it's going to be Deion Simmons on the carry. He's going to pick up 2 into the middle of the defense. Tristan McCubbin's there, along with Hanson and Spurlock.
SNU's done a great job against the run so far. This could be one of the biggest offensive lines they've faced. I'm looking at from left to right, 6'6", 325, 6'3", 325. A lot of 300-plus guys on that Arkansas Tech offensive line.
Simmons again, bouncing off tacklers, but Jake Hansen is there. It's a 2-yard gain for Simmons, but a great one-on-one tackle by Jake Hansen will bring up 3rd and 6 for the Wonderboys.
And going back to the offensive line, the size is something we've talked a lot about. We know that SNU's been outmatched on the offensive side, or on the offensive line specifically, but so far with an offensive line that's much bigger than their D-line, they're holding their own.
Running back either side of Cunningham. He's looking left, flares it out for Simmons. Noah Campbell gets there, but Simmons able to cross the marker and get out of bounds at the 41-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down for Arkansas Tech.
Yeah, we saw that on 3rd down last time. They ran a hitch route on the far side of the field and tried to run that running back with a swing route. And last time they were able to stop him. This time he's able to get to the down marker. It's a great play.
1st and 10, Arkansas Tech. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. And Simmons in the backfield. It's been 1 possession each. Josh Johnson with the deflection on the Cunningham pass and very nearly made the interception with a diving attempt. Josh Johnson, 6 foot, but very long and lanky.
Yeah, definitely one of the more athletic guys on the SNU team. SNU loves taking guys who play like safeties and corners and who can just flat out run and plug them into an outside linebacker spot where they can make plays and fill in on rundowns. Great play there.
Give us to Simmons right up the middle, finds some space. Jake Hansen with yet another tackle. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 from the Arkansas Tech 46-yard line. Substitutions for SNU. Jason Gully and Landon Walker come in. McCubbins and Pitts go out. So an athletic defensive front up here for SNU. On 3rd down, Cunningham rolling right, hits Wade, and it's going to be intercepted on the deflection. Noah Campbell tripped up by Beatty, but another huge play for the Crimson Storm, and SNU is going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Wow. So it looked like that. Was it Beatty who had the ball there?
It looked like the pass to Wade kind of got sandwiched in between Wade and Campbell was able to corral it and get control of it, and that's going to be an SNU 1st down, but there is a flag in the back end of the field here, and I think we're going to probably get an excessive celebration penalty on the Crimson Storm. Not sure who this is going to be on. Trent Smith was the last to get to the sideline. But not sure if that's who the penalty is going to be on. But it is going to be on SNU, and that'll mark them back to the 49-yard line. And they think they tagged Trent Smith and Noah Campbell with the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty there. So instead of the 34-yard line, SNU now taking over at the Arkansas Tech 49-yard line. So 1st and 10 for SNU, another tremendous play to start. The give is to Hooper on the sweep, around the far side, and he's taken down. Really nice play there on the far side of the field. It's number 28, Jordan Furch. And a really nice job running sideline to sideline with Vance Hooper, which is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, Luke, I was just about to say, great play to keep up with Vance Hooper. I love the play call. Give the ball to one of the fastest dudes on the football field and see if an outside linebacker can run with him. And rarely I think that actually happens. But still, SNU able to pick up about 2 to 3 on that. Just a really good tackle there.
Porter trying to make some men miss around the left side, and he's going to be taken down for a big loss. Back to the 49-yard line. Great pursuit by Darian Kane. So it'll bring up 3rd and 10. Porter doesn't look super assertive running the ball so far today.
No, and it seems like every time he's made contact with the defender, he's either been pushed back like that last one, or we've seen a couple where he hasn't given much resistance to the tackler and gone down without much of a fight, which, you know, for a quarterback of his size, he's usually able to bounce off tacklers.
So 3rd and 10 now for SNU. Porter, screen pass out to Nate Walker. Got some blockers out there. And he's banged down to the 43-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and 5, it looks like. They're actually going to mark him at the 44-yard line. And it looks like SNU will go here.
Going to try to ride the momentum from that interception.
J.D. Eddy checks in. Colby Branch checks out here. 15 on the play clock. Still plenty of time as we tick down under a minute to go first quarter. SNU to the line of scrimmage. Porter takes the snap, fakes the sweep. He's got Reed Roloffs wide open, throws it down the middle of the field. Roloffs with the incredible catch. He was absolutely interfered with. No flag, but a 1st and 10 SNU at the 11-yard line of Arkansas Tech.
Yeah, Reed Roloffs had his guy beat by about 5-6 yards. Gage Porter underthrew it a little bit, but he put it up where Reed Roloffs could go get it. And like you said, Luke, definitely pass interference there, but a great catch by Reed.
We're under 10 seconds to go. We'll see if SNU can get this play off. And they do. The give is to Noah Turbyfill. Pounds through the hole, and he's going to be knocked down at the 8, so a gain of 3. And that's how the first quarter is going to come to an end. An exciting first quarter for the Crimson Storm. An interception and a punt block return for a touchdown, and SNU knocking on the door at the Arkansas Tech 8-yard line. After one, SNU leads this one 7-0 over the Wonderboys. We'll be right back after this short break here on the SNU Radio Network. Start of the second quarter here in Bethany. SNU leading Arkansas Tech 7-0. 2nd and 10 from the Arkansas Tech 8-yard line. And Reese, a very exciting first quarter and a potential here for SNU to go up 2 scores.
Yeah, what a call to go for it on 4th down with a bootleg and throw it deep to Reed.
Vance Hooper fumbled the pitch. Kind of a loose exchange there, and he falls on it back to the 15-yard line. So a loss of 7 on the play, but certainly could have been substantially worse. So 3rd down And SNU can get a first down at the 1-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and 14 from the 15-yard line here. 2 wide receivers either side. Noah Turbyfill in the backfield with Gage Porter. Porter back to pass, pressured up the middle, and Trey Chisholm's going to get Porter for a sack. Back to the 21-yard line. Trey Chisholm came into today with 3 tackles for loss. He's already got 2 today. And SNU is going to send out the field goal unit. Certainly a much more difficult field goal going this way. It's a stiff south breeze is blowing today. It's going to be a 38-yard field goal for Ryan Reed, who hit his first field goal last week. Sends this one up. It catches the wind. Is it going to get there? No, it's going to be wide left. So SNU 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line and comes away empty with 13:45 to go here in the second quarter. So official timeout on the field. We'll take timeout with them. SNU leading 7-0. Arkansas Tech getting the ball 1st and 10 when we come back here on the SNU Radio Network.
Never seen that in my life. What the?
Welcome back to Bethany. SNU on defense here. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line for Arkansas Tech as Ryan Reed's 38-yard field goal misses wide to the left. Cunningham back to pass, pressured, floats it out to the far side and goes wide of Drew Wade out of bounds. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Tech's been picking on Jaquel Davis a couple times on that route. He did a great job of just creating contact, and sometimes as a defensive back, you're taught, hey, after they get past 5 yards, don't contact. But if you can collision a guy with your body, a lot of times that's enough to throw off the entire route.
Oh, Beatty with a massive hole on the left side of the offensive line, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 25 on the play. Anthony Stevens on the tackle, and that's the first time we've seen Anthony Stevens in several weeks due to a nagging injury. Anthony Nichols out there on the field as well for SNU, so SNU getting a little bit healthier on the defensive side. Cunningham gives to Beatty, goes right up the middle, runs through Jake Hansen, and pulls a couple tacklers down to the SNU 48-yard line. So gain of 6 on the play.
Definitely good to see Anthony Stevens back out there, especially as a senior who's played in almost every game since he's been here.
He gave us to Beatty, ran right into Angel Hernandez there. Ethan Spurlock also there. Gain of 1. Brings up 3rd down and 3. Big opportunity again for the SNU defense.
Beatty's been really effective so far this drive. It'll be interesting to see if they will hand it to him here.
Senegal, the man in motion. That's going to be a false start on the tight end, number 94, Noah Reyes. And that will make it 3rd down and 8 now for Arkansas Tech. Ball just on the other side of midfield at the 49. Josh Johnson checks into the game for SNU. Wade, the man in motion. Cunningham running the option with Wade, pitches it out, and he's going to get the first down and get down close to the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And that fake give up the middle and then the option look has burned SNU a couple times this afternoon already.
Yeah, they're getting good pursuit. Tech going with a hurry up here.
Give is to Beatty up the middle, and he's going to be stonewalled there for a 1-yard gain. Nice job by Ethan Spurlock moving the left tackle Cole Fritchen into the pile, and Fritchen, a big guy at 6'6", 325. Not a lot of space for Beatty when his own left tackle is in the hole. So 2nd and 9 here for Arkansas Tech. Cunningham gives to Beatty. May Landon Walker miss in the backfield, and he'll pick up 5 down to the 36-yard line. They're marking kind of between the 36 and 37. The 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 4.
Good job by Beatty. It's so hard as a back sometimes to stick your foot in the ground and make a guy miss, especially in the backfield. And so great job by him getting able to fall forward there.
Wade comes in motion. Cunningham gives it to Beatty up the middle. Tries to fall forward, and he's going to be taken down at the 35-yard line. Just a gain of 1. Be 4th down for Arkansas Tech. Tech has the wind and a great kicker, but they're going to go for it here. Jesus Zazumbo, 8 of 9 on field goals this season, but with the wind at their back, Arkansas Tech going to go for it instead. 4th and 3 from the 35-yard line of SNU. Tight formation, 2 wide receivers to the left. Cunningham running that way. Makes the pitch to Beatty. He's going to be chopped down short of the line again. Dylan Metter. What a tremendous play there by Dylan Metter, getting inside, the junior from Piedmont. Chops Beatty down after a gain of 2, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. SNU essentially with their 3rd turnover of the day so far.
Yeah, Luke, you mentioned that they've had a lot of success running that option sweep, and they covered the quarterback well. Even when he pitched it, Metter was kind of playing both quarterback and running back and did a great job getting to the back after he pitched the football.
So SNU comes out 1st and 10. Turbyville in the backfield with Porter. Dalton Sanders, the man in motion. Porter looking for the pitch. He's got Sanders. Crosses the 40, and he'll have the 1st down. We're going to mark him out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A flag flies in from the secondary. It was the field judge who threw it. Not sure what the flag is going to be. We're going to get a personal foul. I believe that's going to be a face mask on Arkansas Tech. Just trying to read the lips of the referee. He didn't indicate face mask, but it appears that that's what it was.
SNU trying to go hurry up here.
So at the Arkansas Tech 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 9:50 to go first half. SNU leading 7-0. And the defense has been fantastic. A punt block, an interception, and a turnover on downs forced on the Wonderboys. Now the offense looking to capitalize. The give is to Vance Hooper around the left side. He's got space. He crosses the 30-yard line down. Oh, they're going to mark him just shy of the 30, so pickup of 9 there on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Crimson Storm.
Hooper normally plays on the outside or maybe in the slot, but with Nate Walker not in on this series, he'll play in the running back position sometimes. And so sometimes, as a player, I've been there where they call a running play and you're a receiver, but you're in the backfield, so you end up getting the handoff. But Vance Hooper definitely successful running the ball.
The give is to Sanders, trying to cut it upfield. He's going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's Darren Kane. Came into today with 27 tackles, 2.5 for loss. So now 3rd and 1 for SNU. A lot of options here on 3rd and 1 in this deep plus territory here, Reese.
Yeah, definitely. See if they don't try to sneak Gage Porter here.
Everyone in tight here, and that is what they do. Porter gets a friendly push from Noah Turbyfill. He'll pick up 3 on 3rd down, and that's enough to move the chains. Eight minutes to go, first half. SNU at the Arkansas Tech 28-yard line with a 1st and 10. And a great opportunity here for some play action pass. Reed Roloff's in tight on the left side of the formation. Everyone in tight for Arkansas Tech. Porter rolls out, hits Roloff's at the 17, makes a man miss, cuts inside, 10, 5, touchdown, Crimson Storm. What a great move by Reed Roloff's. He's the one who made that happen. And a great throw from Gage Porter as well. And just like we said, great opportunity for a pass, hitting Roloff's on the crossing route, Reese.
Yeah, the second time they've done a bootleg like that with Reed. He's been open both times. This time, Reed, it seems like he could just feel the defensive back at his back hip, so he put his foot in the ground, ran back inside, and able to make a play, get some yards after the catch. Great job.
Ryan Reed sends the extra point up and good. So with 7:31 to go first half, SNU leading this one 14-0 over Arkansas Tech. We'll take time out when we come back. SNU defense back on the field. They've been playmakers today. We'll see if that can continue right after these messages on the SNU Radio Network. Halfway through the second quarter here in Bethany, SNU leading Arkansas Tech 14-0. Luke McConnell alongside Reese Carlson. And Reese, SNU has a lot going on both sides of the ball today, particularly on defense where they've forced a blocked punt for a touchdown and an interception and just got a turnover on downs the last time out for Tech. And they're going to be back on the field here looking to make some more things happen.
Yeah, and if you're a team, we kind of talked about this, but who struggled offensively to get hardly anything going, when your special team steps up and then your defense steps up, that's just giving you multiple chances to make something happen. So
Reed,
momentum.
The kick comes down to Irvin, makes a cut. Oh, and he gets away, and he's going to cross midfield to the 49-yard line. So a nice return there for DeAndre Irvin. So Arkansas Tech with terrific field position here at the SNU 49-yard line. And Reese, Arkansas Tech has penetrated into SNU territory on nearly every possession thus far, but just have been unable to get anything going there into the red zone.
Yeah, and it seems like the kind of what we've seen is they want to run those two big backs, and they'll run speed option two to either side, and when they throw it, they'll throw a hitch. It's pretty simple, and SNU's just done a great job of, like you said, Luke, once they get into SNU territory, SNU's buckled down, been able to stop the run and force some fourth downs.
1st and 10, Arkansas Tech, 3 wide receivers right. Cunningham looking that way. He's got his man, number 86. Going to be Brennan Lewis out on the far side. Lewis, a transfer from Memphis. Redshirted last year for the Tigers. 14 catches, 98 yards so far this season. He gets 4 on first down, 2nd and 6 coming up for the Wonderboys. I would love to know the story behind Arkansas Tech being the Wonderboys, and of course their female teams are the Golden Suns. We'd love to know the story there. Cunningham again looking on the outside. Jaquel Davis says he came up with it. The field judge says he did not. It'll be incomplete, 3rd down. Jaquel Davis all over Lewis there. I mean, they were basically hugging each other as they went to the ground for that attempt.
Yeah, I don't see, if I'm Tech, and I'm looking at my matchups, I don't know why I'd keep throwing to Jaquel Davis' side, other than if all they know is, his height. That might look like a mismatch, but every time they've thrown to his side, he's done a great job of covering. There hasn't been a lot there.
So 3rd down and 6 for Arkansas Tech. Lewis in motion. Everybody's to the left. Cunningham looking that way. Fires it down the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Josh Jordan comes over from his safety position and makes a tremendous catch on the interception. Pass was intended for Trey Smith, and Jordan went up, high pointed that ball perfectly, and SNU yet another turnover here in the first half.
Great job by Josh Jordan, the senior, the leader on this defense, leading the team in tackles, comes in and makes a huge play just as Arkansas Tech gets the ball back and starts getting some momentum. Josh Jordan gives it back to the SNU offense.
So SNU 1st and 10. It's going to be at their own 17-yard line. Again, Arkansas Tech just seems to not be able to get out of their own way today, and for the most part, that's been the story this year. Roll-off's the man in motion. Porter keeps up the middle, nothing but green grass in front of him. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, 83 yards, Gage Porter.
There was nothing, no one there, not one linebacker.
And that is starting to become the story for the SNU offense. Tech has played everyone within about 7 yards of the line of scrimmage today. Just not respecting the passing game, but on the run game, you get one block and you're gone, and that is exactly what happened for Porter there. So Ryan Reed on for the extra point. That one is up and good. 6:22 to go. First half, and the Crimson Storm now lead 21-0. And Reese, kind of a crazy situation here. SNU, their best game so far offensively, 22 points. Last time out at home against Southeastern. And now 21 points in the first half. SNU starting to find a little bit of a groove here.
Yeah, and let's not forget that a lot of this, the scoring we've seen has been because of the defense mostly, and because of special teams, of course, with that punt block. But once again, when you're struggling on offense, man, you know that there's not going to be a lot of times where you can probably get the ball and drive it downfield with a long drive. But if your defense gets an interception and puts you in a place where you can then go do that and maybe you hit a big play like we just saw, all of a sudden you find yourself on top 21-0 in a situation that SNU hasn't been in this entire season.
Coming into today's game, SNU had only scored 7 touchdowns in 5 games, and of course 3 of those came against Southeastern. Now SNU 3 here in the first half against Arkansas Tech. Arkansas Tech and Northwestern second least with 11. High kickoff is going to be run up and taken by Wade with a fair catch at the 34-yard line. And that's where Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, I love that special teams call. You're kicking it deep, you're kicking it up into the wind, and last time out we saw Tech with a great return, and so just making it hard on a guy to catch a ball in the wind, and you look and, you're at the 34-yard line, and so great job and great kick by Ryan Reed.
So Reese, a lot of good things going SNU's way right now, and what does this kind of performance in the first half do for a team that has been, basically down on their luck so far this season?
Oh, it's huge. And if you're the defense, you're thinking, okay, I still have to play tight. This is a Tech team that can put up points in a hurry if they want to.
Foot with the carry. He's going to gain 3 up to the 37-yard line on first down. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Wonderboys.
And too, Luke, I think if you're the offense, of course you're feeling confident, but you're kind of looking to see, like, can we put a whole drive together too against a team that, we've scored on, but we've hit a couple big plays, and it'll be interesting to see SNU here down the stretch if they can put a long drive together.
Foot trying to go left, unable to do so. Josh Jordan coming down from his safety position. Holds on to the ankle, and everyone else cleans it up. They're going to give him 1 to the 39-yard line. Should note Myron Henderson now at center for Arkansas Tech. And Damon Nelson is now in at right guard. So Mason Minix off the field right now at center for Arkansas Tech. 3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Cunningham rolls right. And it's going to be intercepted again. It's Noah Campbell this time. Down the sideline with a block from Landon Walker, and he scores! Unbelievable!
Last time Noah Campbell, it seemed like he stripped it from the Arkansas Tech receiver. This time around, a clean pick, and is able to get some blockers, one at the end there, and run it in. Great play from the kid from Baytown, Texas.
And SNU is just living right today on defense. 3 interceptions here in the first half for the Crimson Storm. As Ryan Reed's extra point is up and good. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. The SNU lead is now 28-0. And we'll definitely have to take a look back the last time SNU had a lead this big in a game. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think in the last, since the Lambert era, if there's been one with.
I think last year the East Central game, I think it got up to 45-6 before 2 late East Central touchdowns made it 45-20.
Yep.
I'll have to go back. We'll definitely go back and check on that, but just a incredible performance here for SNU here in the first half. And I think the best part, if you're SNU, has been it's the defense that's been making all the or not all the plays, but has been making the majority of the big plays. Because that's something that, if your offense is struggling, the defense has to be able to step up, and they're showing that they absolutely can here in this first half.
Definitely, and especially for the defense, it can be frustrating if you've been playing good football a lot of the season. Not to say they've been perfect on defense, but SNU has been a bright spot defensively, and so them to get the interceptions.
Sends this one deep. Fort fields it and steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That's where Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 10.
But like you said, Luke, your defense is giving your offense, you're really just giving your team a chance, and a good chance here with 28-0 in the first half. But I think this is a defense that they're going to continue to play hard. They're not scoreboard lookers. We've talked about this a lot, but they're not guys who, whether they're down a lot or up a lot, are going to look at the scoreboard and kind of gauge how we're doing and play according to the scoreboard. They're guys who are going to play hard for the most part all 4 quarters, and so I think you'll look to see a lot of the same from SNU defense.
Wade, the man in motion. Cunningham running the option to the left side, and he's going to be taken down. Josh Jordan there on the tackle, along with Josh Johnson. So J to the 4th power with the tackle there on first down. Gain of 6 for Cunningham. Be second down, or excuse me, gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the Tech 29-yard line. Simmons and Beatty in the backfield on either side of Cunningham. Give us to Simmons, stretching out to the right side, and a great job. Tristan McCubbins got upfield and force Simmons to cut back into the teeth of the SNU defense. No gain on the play. The third down for Tech. Trey Smith back on the field. We got 4 wide receivers here for Tech, and Beatty is the running back with Cunningham. 3rd and 6, 3:50 and counting here in the first half. SNU leading 28-0 over Arkansas Tech. Cunningham, quick out, Josh Orta Beatty, and Jaquel Davis just flew in like a missile and took Beatty down after a gain of 3. It's going to be 4th down. And Reese Jaquel Davis has been playing as good as anyone on this roster over the past month.
Yeah, you hear a lot, just something that came up. When he was a freshman, I remember one of our coaches just saying, and sometimes you hear this and you think it's a little exaggerated, but they go, if Jaquel Davis is 5'11", 195 pounds, he's an SEC caliber football player. I mean, the kid runs a 4.4 40. He's physical. He covers well. And so, yeah, Luke, he's playing as well as anyone on this SNU defense.
Coming into today, Davis with 25 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, an interception, 5 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. He's number 3 in the conference in passes defended with that interception and the 5 breakups. Just a tremendous showing for him this season. Really, him and the entire secondary has done well. They've been beat a lot. You saw the long touchdown against Southeastern. The Henderson State game was not good at all from a secondary perspective, but overall those guys have battled, and they're a veteran group that's played together for many years.
Yeah, a lot of these guys 4 years together. A lot of them started as true freshmen, and so cool to see them having so much success in the secondary on their senior season.
Dunlop back to punt with the win, and he gets off a booming kick. Roloff is going to let that one bounce, and it goes into the end zone. A 68-yard punt officially, net of 48. But wow, what a kick. That just got up into the Gulf Stream there, and it took off. So SNU will have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line here. Looking to add to a 28-0 lead. SNU all 3 timeouts remaining within 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Angel Ramirez in the backfield with Gage Porter. Everybody in tight, 2 wide receivers right. Sanders the man in motion. To give his to Ramirez up the middle. Flag on the play. Ramirez picks up 4. Let's see what the flag is. Going to be illegal motion on Dalton Sanders. Not sure what the explanation is there, but it'll back him up 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 15 now from the SNU 15-yard line. So 2 wide receivers either side here for the Storm. Porter in the pistol. Nate Walker goes in motion. Porter tries to get the screen. It's going to be intercepted. That's Jordan Furch. He's going to be taken down at the 11-yard line. The offensive line release. Porter was under pressure, and he threw behind his intended target. I think it was Vance Hooper out there. That's who he was looking for.
Yeah, they'll try to run kind of like it's a screen. It looks like a bubble screen to Nate with him in motion, and then what they'll do is they'll run a receiver straight down the line of scrimmage, back in, and see if they can get a middle screen there. But it's usually so messy with the offensive lineman releasing there, and just a tough break for SNU.
So the first big play for Arkansas Tech gives the Wonderboys a 1st and 10 at the SNU 11. Beatty right up the middle, bounces off a tackle, cuts inside, and he's got an Arkansas Tech touchdown. Jake Hansen unable to make the tackle there at the 9-yard line, and Beatty found some space on the left side, and just like that, Arkansas Tech on the board with 2:21 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and I think that's something we've seen a little bit on the defense. The two big backs from Arkansas Tech, especially Beatty, they've been contacted in the backfield multiple times, but they're not going to go down on first contact.
Zazumbo's extra point is up and good. So at 2:21 to go first half, SNU's lead is now 28-7. Reese, obviously, anytime you can build up a big lead is a good thing, but in a situation like this, a big momentum play doesn't hurt your psyche as much as it would if it was now 7-7.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I think, we've been talking a lot about the defense and the special teams. And, of course, you mentioned this, Luke, the offense is playing well, but we just saw the interception there and still kind of searching for an identity, I think, this SNU offense is. And so I think if you're the SNU offense, you go into half and you play with a little chip on your shoulder because, one, you're leading, and two, you probably feel like, man, we can still do a lot better on our side of the ball. And so I think that's a bit of a motivator for the SNU offense.
Dunlap set to kick this one off for the Wonderboys. Turby Phil and Jaquel Davis back deep. Vance Hooper up a little bit farther at the 20-yard line. Dunlap's going to send this toward Jaquel Davis. That's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. So SNU will take over 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And Reese, from an offensive perspective, when you get a big lead, what's the more tempting thing to do? Start experimenting or keep doing with what got you there?
Well, I think SNU is probably going to want to see if they can get some of their usual stuff going. They're probably going to want to see if they can run power and do it effectively. But, yeah, also you look and, you've thrown the ball to Reed Roloffs twice and good things have happened. And so hopefully try to stick with some of that same momentum going forward.
SNU unable to get the play run in time, and they're going to take their first time out of the half. Again, 2:21 to go first half. SNU leading 28-7. Just to recap, they have a blocked punt return for a touchdown. Jaden Simmons with the block, and Colby Branch with the scoop and score. They have 3 interceptions this afternoon and an 83-yard Gage Porter touchdown run to go along. One of those interceptions by Noah Campbell went for a pick 6. Reed Roloffs has a touchdown reception, so it's been a little bit of everybody so far today for SNU.
Yeah, Luke, I think, too, it'll be interesting. As a team that hasn't played a lot from the lead, you start, especially from the offense side of the ball, saying, okay, can we chew clock? Can we hold the ball? And sometimes that prevents you from making explosive plays and driving the ball down the field. So that'll be one thing that we can watch out for.
Sanders, the man in motion, fakes the screen. They give it to Nate Walker right over the middle, trying to make some men miss. He gets up to the 30-yard line. Ball squirted free, but they're going to rule him down. And Arkansas Tech is going to take their second timeout of the first half. We'll keep it right here. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up for SNU. And Tech obviously trying to take advantage of the wind, which has picked up. Gorgeous day today. Low to mid 60s overall, temperature-wise, but wind makes it a little bit cooler, a little bit more wind than I think we were initially expecting earlier in the week. But either way, it's been a perfect football day and an absolutely perfect showing for the Crimson Storm thus far. Of course, our graduate assistant in the sports information department. KJ Reed, former Arkansas Tech great at the middle linebacker position. He's not pleased, but he's probably conflicted too. So 2nd and 5 here for SNU at their own 30-yard line. Give to Nate Walker on the sweep. Great cut block by Christian Schellmeyer. Nate Walker gets out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Terrific block there by Schellmeyer, who chopped down Chris Kale, the linebacker. And Nate Walker certainly does not make that play without that block.
No, and that's something that they had trouble doing, at least the refs believed they had trouble doing for a couple. Man, it seemed like almost every other play that SNU had a chop block a few weeks ago was getting called for a penalty. And so when SNU isn't able to chop block effectively, it's going to control their run game significantly. Great job by Christian Schellmeyer with that cut block.
Porter gets it out to Nate Walker. He's got Schellmeyer blocking again, cuts inside. And a nice job by Nate Walker. They're going to rule him down at the 43-yard line. And he took on Uriah Guy man-to-man there and pushed Guy back just a smidge before going down. So a timeout on the field. Arkansas Tech's going to take their 3rd and final timeout with 1:31 to go here in the first half.
Nate Walker getting a little more involved with 3 straight touches. That last one was an interesting design. They had him come in motion and then stick his foot in the ground and come back out with a bubble screen. And, man, when you get the ball to Nate Walker, it seems like more often than not something explosive is bound to happen. So I love them trying to get him involved here late in the first half.
Being on the road with the team this year has been really cool to see. I mean, Nate Walker, he's the style guy of this team, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Always coming on the bus with his cool shades and just a cool attitude. He brings the fashion swag to this team and just the general swag vibe to this team for sure.
Yeah, they don't call him Papa Smooth for nothing. I'll tell you what, that might be self-proclaimed, but nonetheless.
Well, if everybody calls you that, even if it is self-proclaimed, it must be justified. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Porter back to pass. Slant over the middle for Roloffs, and he's got it. Guy on the tackle, but Roloffs down to the 45-yard line. Looks like some double post action there. Sanders looked like he had a step on his defender on the back post route. But either way, a 1st and 10 for SNU at the 45-yard line of Arkansas Tech. They flip the formation, 3 to the left now, 1 to the right. Porter fakes to the right, screen pass to Schellmeyer. He's got 3 on 2 in front of him, behind his blockers, inside the 30-yard line. Down, they're going to mark him down at the 27-yard line. So SNU 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Good speed by Coach Adam Langbart getting that debris off the field. Porter looks left, goes up the middle, trying to follow the block of Caleb Bates, and he does so down to, I'm going to mark him down at the 23-yard line. And SNU will take timeout with 44 seconds to go here in the first half. And Reese, a really nice 2-minute drive here for the Crimson Storm.
Yeah, Tech trying to use their timeouts and hopefully thinking that they can get the ball back and feeling confident they can stop the SNU offense. But now, Tech stops the clock a couple times and is able to give SNU a little bit more time to see if they can't put some points on the board. And SNU, after this timeout, still with another one left. And so good job by SNU hanging on those timeouts. And here late in the first half, they're able to stop the clock with 44 seconds left, and now they're in a good spot to finish the half strong.
Certainly were aided by Arkansas Tech taking a couple of timeouts. And, you win some, you lose some when it comes to the timeout game late in a quarter or a half. So we'll see what SNU can do here. 44 seconds left. They do have 1 remaining. 2nd and 6 at the Arkansas Tech 23-yard line. Sanders in motion, makes 2 wide receivers either side. Porter with lots of time, going for the corner of the end zone, and Roloff's getting ushered out of bounds there by Uriah Guy. It looked like that was good defense. The pass well out of bounds anyway. And by the time you would have called pass interference, both players well out of bounds.
Yeah, probably uncatchable too, but the defensive back there for Tech definitely ran Reed Roloff's out of bounds.
So 37.7 seconds on the clock. Nate Walker, the man in motion. Porter keeps it, goes up the middle, makes a cut, runs through Chris Cale, and that's going to be a first down. At the Arkansas Tech 15-yard line, 32 seconds to go as the official winds the clock. We're rolling. Porter will spike it with 28 seconds to go. So 2nd and 10 now. SNU plenty of time here. 1 timeout remaining. Can take some shots at the end zone if they want. Two wide receivers either side, Roloffs and Walker to the left. Porter's rolling right, throws high, it's deflected. Nearly intercepted by Jordan Furch. And instead it falls incomplete. Looking for Dalton Sanders there. Sanders been targeted quite a bit today.
Yeah, I think that was a smash concept with the number 1 running the hitch, and then you had the Dalton Sanders there running the corner route and try to get him in the back of the end zone there, but good play by the defense back for Tech to break that one up.
So 3rd and 10 now, 23.5 seconds remaining in the quarter. Play clock down to 5. They're just now sending players out. And SNU's either going to have to burn a timeout or take the penalty. And they're going to take their final timeout. Just a little bit too much confusion there amongst the offensive guys. So SNU burns their final timeout. So anything here is going to have to be not in the middle of the field if they want to get a field goal attempt at minimum out of this possession.
Yeah, too bad they had to burn that final one. It looked like they had a little trouble getting the play. And like you said, Luke, they're sending guys in to run J.D. Eddy in there, the tight end, with only about 8 seconds left on the play clock, and that's just not enough time to be able to run a substitution in.
And that communication has been, for the most part, pretty good this season.
Yeah.
It was definitely an issue last year at times, but definitely has been a better thing this year. But that's 2 timeouts burned because of some communication issues amongst the signal callers for SNU. So 3rd down and 10. Ball spotted at the Arkansas Tech 16-yard line. 23.5 seconds to go here in the first half. Schellmeyer in the backfield. Sanders comes in motion. Porter out there by himself. Flag coming. That's going to be a hold on Caleb Bates as Porter wrestles down to inside the 5-yard line, but that one's going to come back. Going to get Caleb Bates with a hold on the outside. And he kind of made it count, too. That'll bring up 3rd and 20 from the 26-yard line. And SNU now needing to get a little bit of yardage in order to make this a manageable field goal. Ryan Reed already pushed a 38-yard field goal to the left, and the wind just continues to pick up a little bit here at SNU Football Stadium. Porter back to pass. Being pressured by Chisholm, steps up in the pocket, knocks down his center. Porter trying to make some things happen in the middle of the field, and he's going to go down, and that's how the half is going to end. Just not enough time for SNU to hustle anyone else onto the field, and that's how the first half comes to a close here in Bethany. A great first half for the Crimson Storm, and they lead Arkansas Tech 28-7 after the first 30 minutes. We'll take time out, and when we come back, we will check in with the voice of the GAC, Michael Westbrook, and get a recap from last week's games and what all's coming up this week in the Great American Conference. And we'll have first half stats and analysis and get you ready for the second 30 minutes of action here on the SNU Radio Network. Welcome back. Halftime here in Bethany. SNU leading this one 28-7 over Arkansas Tech with big plays abounding for the Crimson Storm. Just a tremendous first half both ways, Reese, and really it starts with the defense and what they were able to do, forcing turnovers and big plays on special teams as well.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about how much of a confidence booster that can be for a team that's struggling, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You're just asking yourself, all right, when is this thing going to click? When is the offense going to come together? And sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to all come together at once because your defense picks up the slack, and that's certainly been the case today for SNU. But at the same time, the offense has played pretty well. You mentioned it. I think I was even a little surprised when I saw the total yards for SNU up over 250 yards. And so that's something we haven't seen in a while, probably in a first half. But I don't know if SNU has put up that many offensive yards in a game yet this season. You'd know better than I would, Luke. But one of the things that jumps out to me is Gage Porter over 100 yards passing and then also over 100 yards rushing. And so two stats that definitely jump out at you on the offensive side of the ball.
And just for comparison's sake, last week against Harding, 151 total yards in that one. And even against Southeastern 2 weeks ago in SNU's lone win of the season, SNU just under 250 yards for the game there as well. So, like you said, Reese, offense hasn't been a numbers-based offense so far this season, and SNU came into today averaging just 207 yards per game this season, dead last in the conference. 109 rushing yards per game. They're already over that at 144, and over their passing yardage as well. 97.4 coming in and 103 passing yards for the game today. Reese, offensively, Gage Porter with the big long run, but he's done a great job throwing the ball as well. 6 of 10, 103 yards and a touchdown. He did throw that one interception on the screen pass, but he's been pretty on point with the passing game as well.
Yeah, and one of the pressures that's kind of unique for a quarterback in an offense like SNU, and we talk about it all the time, the quarterback has the biggest impact on any given game. But it's especially true for a team like SNU where if they're going to run the football, it's going to be with the quarterback more often than not. And so if the running game is struggling, you look to the quarterback. And, of course, the passing game is struggling, you look to the quarterback. But when things are going great, it's also because of a good play by the quarterback. And so I think Gage Porter hopefully building some confidence off of this game. Obviously, Luke, you mentioned, he's throwing the ball well, 6 for 10, I believe, and then also running the ball really well also. And so as Gage Porter goes, this game sort of goes. And so Gage Porter just really playing a good game so far. Well, the one interception early that he on the screen pass, but so far he's played a solid game.
And a great thing for SNU coming out of the locker room is they're going to get the ball to start the second half here and be able to capitalize on the momentum that they had there in the first half. And Reese, when you're up like this, what's the propensity in the locker room? What's the feeling, especially for a team that let's be honest, isn't normally up by 3 scores at halftime?
Yeah, it's fun. It's just fun. I mean, football's fun when you're losing, and you're losing almost each and every week. It can really wear on you as a player, but having a game like this, I mean, I just remember some of the times you'd come out and have a game like this where everyone's just kind of looking around and you're like, a little bit, you're like, what's going on? You're so excited and everyone's playing well on both sides of the ball. It's finally clicking. And so it's just a game where you go in the locker room and you're having fun with your buddies. You're like, this is what football is all about. And so for SNU coming back out of the locker room, I think, they just keep a mindset of, hey, we're going to continue to push this thing. We're going to continue to try to play good quality football. Hopefully, they don't get into a mindset of we're just going to chew clock and try to run it out because I think there's still, obviously a lot of football left to be played. And so, but definitely a huge momentum builder and confidence builder for SNU.
Well, and like you mentioned, there's a whole lot of football to be played here, and Arkansas Tech certainly isn't going to just lay down and take it. Arkansas Tech has, they're winless. But they haven't, laid down in any of their other games either. They've been in most of them, including having a 24-7 lead late in the first half against Oklahoma Baptist last week. So they're not going to lay down and fight either. And in addition to that, there's so much that SNU can still do better. The offensive line has protected okay. It's been all right as far as that, plus the run blocking. We've seen Gage have to make a bunch of scramble plays in the backfield, both on some of his runs and on the passing as well. So certainly a lot to maybe improve on there in the second half. Let's run through the first half stats real quick. First for Arkansas Tech, 8 first downs for the Wonderboys, 101 yards on the ground for Arkansas Tech. Just 21 passing yards this afternoon. 38 plays, 122 yards of offense for the game so far. Just 1 punt return for 8 yards, 49 yards on the 4 kickoff returns. They have had the ball for 16 minutes and 53 seconds, so a little bit of an advantage there for the Wonderboys, but just 3 of 10 on third down conversions. And they did score a touchdown in their lone trip to the red zone. Individually, Caleb Beatty leading the way, 11 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Wallace Foote, 6 carries, 18 yards. Drew Wade had 1 carry for 10 yards, and Deion Simmons, 3 carries, 9 yards. Mason Cunningham struggling in the passing game, 5 of 13 for 21 yards. Those 3 interceptions. Again, just 21 yards so far. Simmons, Drew Wade, Brennan Lewis, and Caleb Beatty each with 1 reception each for the Wonderboys. Tyler Dunlap, 2 punts, averaging 51 yards per punt. Had a 68-yarder in the first half that just got caught up in the wind, and, man, that thing would have gone for days. But ended up being a touchback there as well. Chris Cale leading the way with 5 tackles. DeAndre Irvin with 5 tackles as well. And looking back, Jordan Furch was the guy with the interception of Gage Porter late in that first half. For SNU, 11 first downs, 144 yards on the ground, 103 yards through the air, 247 yards on 31 plays in the first half. Gage Porter, 12 carries, 114 yards, and a touchdown of the 83-yard variety. Dalton Sanders, 2 carries, 11 yards. Nate Walker, 2 carries, 11 yards. Nate Hooper, 3 carries, 5 yards. Gage Porter is 6 of 10 with an interception, 103 yards, and a touchdown. And that was Reed Roloffs with that touchdown. It was 28 yards on a great out route there from Roloffs. Nate Walker, 2 catches, 12 yards, and Christian Schellmeyer, 1 catch for 18 yards. Ryan Reed's 1 punt went 51 yards. Jaden Simmons had the punt block there in the first half. Jake Hansen leading the team in tackles with 6. Noah Campbell 5 with 2 interceptions. And Angel Hernandez 4 tackles with 1 tackle for loss. So SNU coming back out on the field. Arkansas Tech will be kicking off to SNU. Reese, what are you going to be looking for here in the second half?
Well, if you're a coach, it's actually a really good teaching moment to talk to your players. Give them a little bit, of course all the guys know how to play with a win, with a lead, but this is not the case. The SNU team has not played with the lead very often, and so I think you tell your guys that, hey, we got a lot of football to play and a lot of good football to be played. And so I'm looking for this SNU team to come out and kind of play with some of the immeasurables, a lot of energy, passion, flying around, competing hard, even though they're up by 3 scores.
So Dunlop set to kick off here. Turby Phil and Davis back deep to receive for SNU. Just waiting on the official signal to get this second half party started. And we're ready to go here. Again, SNU starting the second half, leading 28-7. There's a run-up and the boot from Dunlop, and that's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. So SNU will take over 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Flag down on the play. Not sure what this one's going to be. Waiting on the signal from the referee here.
A late hit on Tech, or
and that is going to be the call, a personal foul during the kick on number 48, Davion Smith. So a self-inflicted wound for the Wonderboys will give SNU great field position, 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. SNU comes out 2 wide either side. Shellmeyer the back with Porter. Porter fakes, goes up the middle. Great block by Shellmeyer. Flag coming. Furch with the tackle. The flag coming from the umpire there. I believe they're going to get Grayson Winters with a hold on big number 98, Kalen North. So the 10-yard penalty will push SNU back to their own 30-yard line, where it will be 1st and 20. So maybe we can go back and call the penalties a wash, and SNU can just have 1st and 10 at the 25. KJ just brought a cupcake into the booth and didn't bring any for the rest of us. Give us to Roloffs on the sweep, trying to make things happen. And he fumbled the football, trying to keep his balance. And Arkansas Tech has it at the SNU 28-yard line. Number 21, Deandra Irvin, reached out and tripped Roloffs up. He was able to keep his balance for a second, but then lost the football, trying to stay upright.
Yeah, just like you said, Luke, trying to make things happen. Reed Roloffs not going to go down easy, and we've seen it actually earlier in the season too. Looked like where the defense had him, and then he's able to keep running, but got to tuck that football away, especially when you have the other hand down on the ground to keep your balance.
Give is to Beatty, finds some space over the left side of the line and gets down to the 21-yard line. Pickup of 7 on 1st down for Beatty. Again, Beatty 55 yards and a touchdown in the first half. It'll be 2nd and 3 from the SNU 21-yard line. All Arkansas Tech's momentum coming courtesy of SNU turnovers today. Beatty probing, and he's going to be marked just shy of the 1st down at the 19-yard line. Jake Hansen there with the tackle. Mason Minnick's back in at center for Arkansas Tech. Beatty once again gets the call down to the 16-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wonderboys, as Beatty was able to pick up that short gain on 3rd down.
Yeah, if you're Tech and you could not have drawn this thing up any better, you know SNU's getting the football, you force a turnover in your own territory, and all of a sudden Tech has all the momentum in this second half.
Beatty probing, trying to find some space, picks his way down to the 12. So give him 4 on 1st down, so 2nd and 6 upcoming.
And if you're SNU, you realize, man, if Tech were to mount a comeback, this is exactly how it'd start to happen. It's easy to start to think, fumble, whatever, we're up by 3 scores. You got to look this thing in the face and put your foot down.
Cunningham, quick slant, looking for Lewis. Be incomplete. The pass was well outside his catch radius. He came up looking for a flag. Cameron Wells with the coverage there. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 from the 12-yard line. Big opportunity for SNU here to force a field goal or come up with another turnover of their own. Wide receiver either side. Tight formation here for Tech. Cunningham, quick slant for Wade. Out of his reach. Falls incomplete. Good coverage there by Davis. Josh Jordan was there over the top as well. And that'll be 4th down. And Jesus Zazumba in for the field goal. Zumba 8 of 9 field goals this season. The number 1 in the conference in field goal makes and percentage. Along a 47. This one's going to be a 29-yarder from the middle of the field. High snap, kick is up, and it is good. So 12:39 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The SNU lead has been cut down to 18 at 28-10. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with the SNU offense on the other side. This is SNU football presented by Crossover Radio. It's gone by here in the 3rd quarter. Arkansas Tech with a 29-yard field goal to cut the SNU lead down to 28-10, able to capitalize on the SNU fumble. Still plenty of game action to go here. Reese, like you mentioned, a perfect start for Arkansas Tech, essentially nullifying SNU's start of the second half with the football, and now Tech able to put up some points and now give the ball back to the Crimson Storm offense. Dunlop to kick off. Davis and Turbyfield back deep for SNU. And Dunlop will send this one deep, and Davis will carry it into the end zone for the touchback. So SNU will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Luke, definitely probably the best kicking unit maybe we've seen for Arkansas Tech, both punting and field goal wise. Their punter is a kid who was all conference last year, and field goal kicker, like you said, 8 for 9, so 9 for 10 this season. He's been hitting a lot of touchbacks so far this game.
Porter looks to the sidelines. Play clock under 10. Two on the play clock as Porter gets the snap off just in time. The give is to Shellmeyer up the middle. He's going to get 1 on 1st down, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Reese, SNU doesn't do a lot of traditional downhill runs with the running back. Any particular reason why?
So usually if you're going to look at, you can beat a team 3 ways. You can beat them with speed, power, deception. And SNU knows that they're not going to have the biggest, most powerful guys. They're not always going to be the fastest, but they feel like they can get some deception.
Porter with space in the middle of the field. Can he outrun the defense? 40, 30, 20, trying to outrace Irvin, and he's going to get in. Oh, no, he fumbled the football. And it's going to be picked up by Williams at the 1-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 2. Gage Porter was going into the end zone, and the ball was punched out from behind by Deandra Irvin. And Arkansas Tech recovers. What an incredible hustle play by Irvin. And just a disappointing finish to that for SNU.
Yeah, great play. Great play by Irvin.
That's the second time Porter has found wide open space in the middle of the offensive line. And there was nothing but green grass in front of him, but 3 Arkansas Tech defenders chased him down, and looked like it was Irvin that was able to punch that ball out. So now Arkansas Tech 1st and 10 at the 2. Whistles blow, and it looks like we got a false start. And that'll back Arkansas Tech up even farther.
Yeah, you mentioned, Luke, great hustle play by Irvin. It'd definitely be easy for the guy to see Gage run around and say, here we go again, going to make it 35, and for him to not give it his all there, but great job by him to come in and make that play.
Definitely circle that one on your play sheet if things change in this one. Cunningham with a hitch and go, looking for Senegal. Oh, and he incomplete. He almost made an incredible one-handed catch. Cameron Wells in coverage, but my goodness, that was close to being an unbelievable catch for Deion Senegal, the freshman, coming into today with 7 catches, 136 yards.
Just looking at the SNU offensive coaches right now, walking around the different guys, looking them in the eye and tell them to look up. We got a lot of football to play, because 2 turnovers in, 3.5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Big momentum shifter.
Cunningham again back to pass, gets it out in the flat to Foot. He's forced out of bounds by Davis up at the 8-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 8. So big opportunity here for SNU, needing to make a stop. Two wide receivers left, one to the right. Tight end Tucker Kennedy over on the right side of the formation. Senegal comes in motion, across to the left side. Cunningham rolling that way, looking for the quick slant to Senegal, and he fumbled it, and it goes out of bounds. Either way, it's going to be a stop on 3rd down. Guess who? Noah Campbell once again with a great defensive play. He was all over Senegal and punched that ball out. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Wonderboys, and they will have to punt. So the turnover only keeps points off the board for SNU at this point.
Yeah, kind of a break for SNU there. I mean, Tech gets the ball back and obviously stops SNU from putting 7 points up, but Tech not able to do much of anything when they get the ball back in their possession.
So Dunlop will be halfway back in his end zone, ready to send this one away. And last time out, a 68-yarder with the wind. If I was Reed Roloffs, I would back up a little bit farther. We got a flag, and I think we're going to get another false start. And Adam Langbart, the special teams coach for SNU, running down the sidelines telling Reed to go ahead and back up a little bit more. This could be a very, very big kick. It also has the potential for a very big return for Reed as well. If Dunlop gets this one up too high into the wind, he's going to outkick his coverage considerably. So we'll see what happens here. Dunlop about 8 yards deep in the end zone. And another false start coming. And Arkansas Tech just keeps backing up here. So now the ball is going to be spotted inside the 5. See where the umpire spots it here. Puts it down at the 2-yard line. Dunlop quickly running out of space in the back of that end zone. No false start on this one. Dunlop gets this one up, and it's good. Roloffs fields it at the 45. Lots of space. Right up the middle. Bounces off a tackler and dives across the 40-yard line. An 18-yard return for Reed Roloffs. And the field judge is standing at the 40-yard line. And that's where they're going to spot it. That's the second time they've been off by at least 4 yards on the spot. He was nowhere close to down at the 40-yard line.
I'm surprised Coach Lambert isn't giving him an earful right now.
I'm not sure. But anyway, 1st and 10 SNU at the 40-yard line. 53-yard punt, 15-yard return. Hooper, the man in motion. Porter running the option that way. Cuts back inside, slips down at the 36-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6 after the gain of 4.
Minus a couple of early runs by Gage Porter, he's looked like a different ball carrier, I think, this game. We've seen him not only break a couple, but just finish runs better, I think, be more physical, run through defenders. He's just looked real good running the football so far.
Yeah, the first 2 drives, a little bit of timidity it looked like, but definitely a lot more assertive since then. Hooper again, the man in motion. Porter running, deep option pitch. Managed to get it to Hooper. Loss of 2. There is a flag coming from the umpire. We'll see what we're going to get. Irvin indicating it is on SNU, and I believe that is going to be the case. It would be 3rd and 8 from the spot of the ball. We'll see if Arkansas Tech wants to back SNU up a little bit. They're certainly not in field goal range either way with this wind.
Shaking the goalposts.
And Kyle Ship's gonna decline this one, so it'll be 3rd and 8 from the 38-yard line. That's the second time they've gotten Grayson Winters with a hold this half. So it'll be 3rd and 8 from the Arkansas Tech 38-yard line. 9:15 to go, 3rd quarter. SNU leading this one 28-10. 2 wide receivers right, Reed Roloffs to the left. Turbyfill is crushed in the backfield on the option give. Porter kept it, and he only gained 1 or 2 yards, but Noah Turbyfill just got his world rocked. And there's an Arkansas Tech player down on the field. It looks like it's not, well, can't tell from this angle. Who's down for Arkansas Tech right now, but like they're checking for a cramp based on they're stretching that foot area. But Reese just a tremendous hit there in the backfield on Turbyfill. That's what I call taking out the options. Looks like it's Jordan Furch who's down for Arkansas Tech. There, to help him to his feet here. And he's able to walk off on under his own power. So 4th down and 7 upcoming for SNU from the Arkansas Tech 37-yard line. And Ryan Reed on to punt this one away. Reese obviously with the win, an opportunity to maybe play a little field position, but certainly an opportunity to go for it and take a chance given the spot on the field and the conditions as well.
Yeah, and I'm just looking. Jarvis Davis is the backup quarterback. I've never seen him in that spot before.
No fake here. Reed sends this one end over end very high. Fort has it at the 13-yard line, and that's where Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 10 with 8:41 to go here in the third quarter. So SNU unable to take advantage of the great field position on the Reed Roloff's punt return. Kind of a shaky start for the SNU offense, but that's also how the first half started too.
Yeah, and it's one thing if you turn the ball over 2 times and Tech turns it into 2 scores. Luckily, your defense has bailed you out, forced a field goal, and then Tech not able to do much with it at all after being pinned back in their own territory.
Tight formation here for Arkansas Tech. Receiver either side. The give is to Simmons. Has a hole, and he bounces off a tackler and is finally taken down by Anthony Stevens. Jake Hansen also in on the tackle. Pickup of 5 out to the 18-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 5 for Arkansas Tech. Give is to Simmons. Finds a hole up the middle on the nice cutback. Bounces off a few tacklers and crosses the 25 to the 28-yard line. So he gains 10 on that 2nd down run. And a 1st down for Arkansas Tech. And they're hustling back to the line of scrimmage. Cunningham fakes. Tried to get the hitch and go, and just nobody there. As Brennan Lewis was the intended receiver, but Arkansas Tech almost went too fast for their own good there.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more of Simmons in the backfield. Beatty's already carried the ball 15 times, so perhaps just trying to get some fresh legs in there.
2nd and 10 for Arkansas Tech. 2 wide receivers right, Drew Wade's to the left. Tight end Tucker Kennedy in motion. Fakes the give to Simmons. Cunningham fires out to the far side, and it's going to be caught by Trey Smith. Nice diving catch there by Smith. And he gets it out to the 43-yard line. Pick up a 15 on that 2nd down pass. And Tech moving the ball. 7.5 to go, third quarter. SNU still leading 28-10, but a shaky start offensively to the second half. And Arkansas Tech looking to take advantage and chip away at this lead. Cunningham, hitch and go once again. Trying to go down the sidelines. Jaquel Davis able to slow down Senegal enough. And that pass well out of bounds anyway. But nice job by Davis, who was, wouldn't say beat necessarily, but got enough contact on the outside to slow Senegal down and recover.
Yeah, perhaps Tech seeing Jaquel Davis just play real tight, a lot of pass breakups, jumping routes, and so they're trying to get him on a couple double moves, hitch and goes, and so far they've played it pretty well.
Double moves only work occasionally. You can't do it every play, and that's back-to-back, or 2 of the last 3 for Arkansas Tech. Cunningham back to pass. A lot of time. Hits the tight end Kennedy, who's stuck immediately by Dylan Metter. Going to be a gain of 3 up to the 46-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 7 for Arkansas Tech at their own 46-yard line with 6:55 and change and counting to go here in the third quarter. Reese, SNU, done a great job on 3rd downs today. Arkansas Tech just 4 of 13 prior to this one. Wade, the man in motion, makes 3 wide receivers to the left. Cunningham looking that way. Looking for Wade, it's going to be too high for Drew Wade. Josh Johnson in coverage. Looked like he might have had Trey Smith down the sideline, but did not go that way. And Arkansas Tech will be forced to punt once again.
SNU's secondaries looked very good during this game. They've been collisioning receivers, just getting them off their routes. They've certainly been physical, and I think a couple times we thought it could have maybe been a pass interference, but they've just been playing tough, physical, a lot of pass breakups, and, of course, the interceptions as well.
Tyler Dunlap on to punt. Reed Roloff standing at his 10-yard line. Looks like Jaden Simmons could have gotten a piece of that one. Roloff's at the 12, picking his way across the 15 to the 17, and a flag comes in from the back judge. And I think they're going to get Angel Hernandez on a hold or a block in the back. So that'll push SNU back even farther. They'll start inside the 10-yard line. And looks like multiple officials had that one. I believe they will mark this one half the distance to the goal. And we'll take time out here. 6:12 to go, third quarter. SNU still leading 28-10 and on offense when we come back here on the SNU Radio Network. SNU leading Arkansas Tech 28-10, 6:12 to go third quarter. SNU back on offense for the third time here in the third quarter. Excuse me, the fourth time here in the third quarter. Backed up at their own 6-yard line after the Angel Hernandez penalty. Vance Hooper, the man in motion. Porter keeps it, picks his way up the middle, shakes off a tackler, and crosses the 10 up to the 14-yard line. So a nice gain on first down for Gage Porter. There is a flag on the play thrown by the line judge on the far side. It's going to be offsides on Arkansas Tech. And SNU chooses to decline the penalty, so it'll be 2nd and 3 from the 14-yard line. And always, you'd think 2nd and 3, 1st and 5, not a huge difference, and I think that's what Coach Lambert was thinking there.
Mm-hmm.
So SNU 2nd and 3 from the 14-yard line. Of course, as soon as we say that, something bad will happen, and they'll wish they had that down back. Either way, Vance Hooper comes in motion. Porter gives it to him. Trying to get outside. That's going to be a hold on Nate Walker. Flags all over the place. And now SNU probably maybe wishing they had that down back. There's going to be a hold on Nate Walker here. And we'll see what the officials assess here. Every official on this side, half of the field threw their flag. Certainly been unnecessary. Now Kyle Shipp doing the same evaluation. The play ended up a loss of 3, so it would be 3rd and 6 from the 11-yard line. They will accept the penalty, so it'll be half the distance to the goal and push SNU back to the original line of scrimmage at the 7, so it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the perimeter guys are taught to block and get that outside shoulder of the defender, and sometimes you find yourself, you've actually overran the defender, have to turn around That's exactly what Nate Walker did, and it was kind of too late. He tried to turn around, get back to it, but he ended up grabbing a whole lot of jersey there and got the hold called on him.
So 2nd and 10, play clock down to 5. Porter fakes it to Walker. Late pass across the middle. Hooper was not really expecting that. It came out very wobbly. Hooper tried to make the one-handed stab but was unable to do so. So now 3rd and 10 for SNU from the 7-yard line. Hooper would have had the first down with the catch. But again, didn't look like he was expecting that pass that late. So SNU trying to stay on the field here and recapture some momentum. Hooper goes in motion to the top of the formation. Porter delayed handoff to Turbyfill, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield. Number 49, Ryan McCoy, in on the tackle. And a 4-yard loss for Noah Turbyfill. Back to the 3-yard line, and SNU not in a good position here as Ryan Reed will be punting from the back of the end zone into a stiff breeze. And Tyrus Fort set up at the 32-yard line. Arkansas Tech bringing the house. Reed able to get this one out. It just gets caught in the wind, and Fort makes a fair catch at the 30-yard line. Just not much you can do there if you're the punter. If it was going the other way, that would have been a great punt.
Yeah.
But it got a little high and caught up in the breeze, and 27-yard punt for Ryan Reed. So with 4:27 to go here in the 3rd quarter, SNU with needing another stop on defense as Arkansas Tech comes back out 1st and 10 at the SNU 30-yard line. Tight formation, 1 wide receiver either side. Cunningham takes the snap, gives it to Beatty, makes a cut in the middle, and he's chopped down by Josh Jordan, but give him 7 on 1st down to the 23-yard line. Caleb Beatty's done a very, very nice job today. Now up to 16 carries for 78 yards and a score. Wade the man in motion. The give is to Beatty again up the middle. And he will have enough for the 1st down to the 19-yard line. The 1st and 10, Arkansas Tech inside the red zone.
And SNU certainly has not been convincingly trying to put this Tech team away. And like we said, Luke, it's a good team who can score points. And when you let them hang around and they start getting confidence, you know, here we are, and they're threatening with enough time left.
Cameron Wells was beat, and there's the flag. Got a bit of a hold out there on Drew Wade as Wells was beat on the hitch and go. Now the question will be, are they going to call a pass interference or are they going to call a hold? Officials checking the spot here. Officials still discussing this before conveying their decision to the referee. And they can't seem to make up their minds here. It'd also be helpful if the referee would go to his crew and help them make the decision. It's kind of his job. And now he finally will have a discussion with the head linesman. And the call is going to be pass interference on Cameron Wells. So we'll do half the distance to the goal. Oh, actually, they're going to do a spot foul. That's interesting. Don't think I've seen that one before, but okay. So first and goal, Arkansas Tech at the 5-yard line. Beatty is the back with Cunningham, and he'll take the carry, make a sidestep in the middle, trying to be dragged to the end zone. He's going to be down at the 1-yard line. Flag on the play. The call is going to be offsides on SNU. In discussion on whether or not to enforce it or not. So they will accept this one, so we'll make it first and goal from the 2.5-yard line now. 3:20 and counting here in the third quarter. Really, if you're SNU, the best part about this rally for Arkansas Tech is that it's taking an eternity to transpire.
Yeah.
So first and goal at the 2.5-yard line. Cunningham fakes the give, and he will walk into the end zone for the Arkansas Tech touchdown. Excellent pull by Mason Cunningham, and put some more points on the board for Arkansas Tech with 2:54 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Tech not going away like we talked about, and SNU defense can only hold for so long. But like we said, that punt was a huge play just because of how short it was and the wind factor as well. And so here we are. It's 28-17, and momentum is favoring Arkansas Tech.
Reese, right now, again, such a dominating first half for the Crimson Storm, and a lot of that predicated on big plays. So how do you kind of recapture the momentum in a situation where you need to grind out some yards? And, I mean, overall, haven't quite been able to do that even consistently, at least. There's been a drive or two that SNU was able to, but they haven't been able to consistently grind out yards over the course of this game.
Yeah, I think you look at some of just the biggest things that jump out at you are the turnovers. SNU turned the ball over a couple times. Gage Porter's fumble, Reed Roloff's fumble, and so that's one of the things that's when you're leading. That's what you teach 101. It's hold on to the football. Let's grind out the clock. And so now for SNU, like you said, Luke, they really haven't been able to have a long sustained drive. They've hit some big plays, and so of course those big plays are nice, but it'd be great to see if SNU could establish the run game, take some time off the clock, and regain some momentum in this game.
Dunlop sends this one end over end. Turbyville fields it at the 3. And he's got some space on the right side, finally taken down across the 25-yard line at the 29-yard line. Number 34, Christian Cole, with the tackle. And that's where SNU will take over first and 10. So SNU looking to establish some sort of offensive rhythm. Joey Carrion in at center. Hunter Jones remains on the sidelines right now, and he came off on that last offensive possession a little gimpy, it looked like. Don't see him down there with the rest of the offensive players at the moment. Porter fumbles the snap, pitches it late to Hooper. And Hooper forced out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. Fortunately, SNU, after all of that, no gain on the play.
Yeah, Gage Porter he's not one to give up on a play, and so even though he fumbled it and then gets it back, he's able to figure out a way to flip it to Vance Hooper. Unfortunately, no yards are gained.
3 wide receivers clustered to the right. Porter looks that way, gets it out to Hooper. Trying to follow his blockers, picks his way across the 35 up to the 36-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 for SNU from the 26-yard line. Big play here for SNU. Play clock under 20. SNU really needs this first down to get the ball rolling here just unable to do anything here in the second half thus far. 2 wide receivers either side. High snap, Porter's able to corral it, but he's going to be taken down. McNulty was there in the backfield along with number 43, Deidrick Dugan. And just like that, a 3 and out for the Crimson Storm, and the ball going right back to the Wonder Boys.
Yeah, that's if you're SNU, we talked about it a little bit, but haven't had a lot of experience playing with the lead, and so often when you find yourself down in games, you're clawing, scratching to get back in it, and SNU finding themselves up, just can't find any rhythm on offense.
Another high punt for Ryan Reed, gets knocked down by the wind. It bounces at the 46, takes an SNU roll down to the 36. So a 30-yard punt on that one, and that is where Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 10. With less than a minute to go, we're down to 58 seconds here in the third quarter. And if you're Ryan Reed, you're just counting down the moments until you can be on the opposite end of the field and kick with the wind for a little bit.
Yeah, that'll hurt your average a little bit.
Both punters in the top 5 in punt average this season in the conference. So the SNU defense back on the field trying to recapture some of the magic from the first half. Cunningham, Landon Walker is held, no flag. Cunningham trying to get out of bounds, and he takes a shot from Angel Hernandez. Cunningham got up looking for a flag on Hernandez. Looked like a high hit perhaps, but either way, a gain of 3 up to the 39-yard line. 2nd and 7, down to 30 seconds here in the third quarter. This will probably be the final play of the quarter. Senegal, the man in motion. Cunningham gives up the middle to Wallace Foote, makes Dylan Metter miss, but is tackled by Jaquel Davis up at the 43-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 3. And that is how the third quarter is going to come to a close here in Bethany. Arkansas Tech puts 10 on the board in the third quarter. SNU struggling a little bit offensively, and we go to the fourth quarter. Arkansas Tech trying to rally, SNU trying to halt momentum. It's SNU 28, Arkansas Tech 17. We'll be back after this break on the SNU Radio Network. For Arkansas Tech, SNU on defense. The give is to Beatty up the middle, and he dives across for the first down. And Arkansas Tech moves the chains to their own 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wonder Boys.
Yeah, big first down for Arkansas Tech as they approach the 50-yard line and get into SNU territory. They have all the momentum right now, so SNU trying to just get a stop here.
2 wide receivers left. The give is to Beatty. Crosses the 50 down to the SNU 48-yard line. Pickup of 4. So 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Wonder Boys. Ball spotted just shy of the SNU 48-yard line. Arkansas Tech, number 7 in the conference in rushing this season, 150 yards per game. Cunningham back to pass. He's got time. Floats it out. Senegal's wide open at the 35-yard line, and he slides down at the 34. Arkansas Tech already above their average, 156 yards rushing for the game. Pickup of 14 on that play. And Arkansas Tech in business at the 34-yard line of SNU, 13 and a half minutes to go. Cunningham back to pass, and he's smoked! Back at the 42-yard line, Ethan Spurlock just absolutely destroyed Cunningham. What a hit.
Yeah, Spurlock kind of the anchor of this SNU defensive line and missed a few games due to injury so far, but a huge sack and a big moment gives SNU some energy here in the fourth quarter.
Loss of 6. So 2nd and 16 back at the 40-yard line. 3 wide receivers right. Cunningham looking that way, trying to hit Wade, and instead he goes for Senegal, and Cameron Wells with an excellent defensive play to break up that pass and force a 3rd down and 16 here for the Wonder Boys.
Man, that sack by Spurlock was just a huge play because all of a sudden now you're, like you said, Luke, 3rd and 16, and you're starting to wonder, are we 4-down territory here in the fourth quarter? And now the pressure's on Tech to convert here on 3rd.
2 wide receivers either side. Cunningham looking left, now finds Trey Smith open in the middle of the field down to the 20. What a strike from Mason Cunningham. You got 2 SNU players slow to get up. Tristan McCovens back at the 42-yard line. And I believe that's going to be maybe Trent Smith down at the 20-yard line. And it looked like Smith and I think Jake Hansen kind of collided with each other going for that tackle. But what a huge throw from Cunningham on 3rd and 16. Easily his best throw of the day.
Yeah, clutch play. Like we talked about, all the momentum swinging to SNU after that sack. Great throw, great catch.
McCubbins is up and walking off under his own power, but slowly and favoring that right leg. And it is Trent Smith on the far side and kind of holding his lower back a little bit. Also walking off under his own power.
Walking next to him, you got a orthopedic surgeon and a chiropractor, so I think he's in good hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So 1st and 10 for Arkansas Tech after the huge 3rd down conversion at the SNU 21-yard line. Cunningham takes the snap. Quick slant out for Wade, and it's intercepted. Jaquel Davis, nothing but grass in front of him. Jaquel Davis, what a play. "80 yards to the house."
We've been talking about what a great season Jaquel Davis has had. And Arkansas Tech continues, for whatever reason, to want to throw to his side. And they're just going to run a 5-yard hitch route. Jaquel Davis jumps it and takes it all the way back, just as Arkansas Tech seems to be getting all the momentum in this game. The first time we see a spark, a sign of life from SNU in this second half. Huge play by Jaquel Davis and this SNU defense.
Ryan Reed's extra point up and good. And with 12:15 to go here in the fourth quarter, SNU leads 35-17. And Reese, and actually we're going to get a timeout here on the field, so we'll take timeout too. SNU leading 35-17. We'll be back after this on the SNU Radio Network. Just an unbelievable play, and Reese, like we were just saying, he caught that going full speed, and there was no way anyone was going to catch him on that run back.
No, not at all. He took a chance too. Yeah, I mean, if he would have missed it, not able to make contact with the ball, Tech could have ran that in.
Reed scoops this one. It's going to be Fort at the 13-yard line, cutting across the field. Runs past Colby Branch. He's got lots of space. Crosses midfield, and Noah Campbell shoves him out of bounds unceremoniously at the 43-yard line. A little bit of pushing and shoving on that far side. Some Arkansas Tech players took exception to the push from Noah Campbell. Perfectly legal. Fort was clearly still in bounds when that happened. Don't think there are any flags either way over there. We'll see if there are any after the officials talk here. But it definitely was not a late push. It was late in the sense that he was heading toward the sideline, but certainly not illegal in any way. There is a flag, however, all the way back at the 36-yard line. So we'll see what that one is all about. It looks like that is going to back up the Wonderboys and nullify the big return from Tyrus Fort. So not only did Fort get shoved unceremoniously into his own bench by Noah Campbell, but it didn't even matter. So the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul will give the Wonderboys 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line and nullify about 30 yards worth of field position.
Yeah, I think some of that pushing and shoving is a little bit indicative of this Arkansas Tech season and maybe just some of the momentum shift we just saw there after Tech has given some life in the second half, and then SNU takes it right back. Obviously a frustrated team is Arkansas Tech.
McCubbins looks healthy as he sprints onto the field late. Cunningham with the pitch, and Simmons is knocked down in the backfield by Ethan Spurlock. That's a loss of 7. No chance for Deion Simmons against Ethan Spurlock there.
And that's just a play you don't see a defensive end cover the quarterback and the running back on an option play very often. And for him to actually make the tackle, great job by Ethan Spurlock playing both and making the play on the running back.
So 2nd and 17 now, and momentum clearly on the side of SNU now after the pick 6 and the loss of 7 to start this one. Cunningham gives to Beatty, and Spurlock is there again. What a huge day for Ethan Spurlock. Takes down Beatty for a gain of 0, and it's now 3rd and 17.
And the way this SNU defense is built with the 3-4 front, the D linemen aren't necessarily meant to make big plays. I mean, they're meant to take up double teams, allow the linebackers to make plays, but Spurlock getting in on the action here late in the 4th quarter.
Cunningham back to pass, looking down the far sideline. Lewis is there, jump ball, great coverage, Cameron Wells. And Coach Lambert fired up with that defensive play right there. Heck of a play by Cameron Wells, who stands just 5'9", going up against the 6'4" Brennan Lewis, and he got inside position and basically just boxed him out.
Yeah, they're asking Cameron Wells to do a lot. Kid, his first year playing, I think he redshirted last year, and all of a sudden he's kind of the young buck on this experienced SNU defensive back team, and he's made a lot of great plays today.
Tyler Dunlop sends this one away. Reed Roloffs lets it bounce, and it will die inside the 30-yard line at the 29. Not a bad kick there for Tyler Dunlop into the wind. That'll bring us to a timeout on the field. 10:28 to go. SNU in control here, up 35-17 over Arkansas Tech. We'll be back after this short break here on the SNU Radio Network. .28 to go, fourth quarter. SNU leading 35-17 over Arkansas Tech. 1st and 10 for the Crimson Storm at their own 29-yard line. And SNU looking to eat up some clock and put this game on ice. 2 wide receivers left, one to the right for quarterback Gage Porter. Nate Walker in the backfield with Porter here. Porter with the pull, cuts back, and McNulty just manages to get enough of Porter and take him down at the 32-yard line. Potential for big play there, but LeVar McNulty able to take down Porter after a short gain. So 2nd and 7 for the Crimson Storm.
SNU defense just continues to play lights out and has given its offense a lot of chances. And unfortunately, at least in the second half, SNU's offense has not been able to put any pressure on Tech's defense. And so this is really a crucial drive for the potential for SNU to put this game away.
Porter fakes the give to Walker. He's got lots of space up the middle of the field. Is anybody going to catch him this time? I don't think so. Gage Porter, 68 yards. And another touchdown for the junior from Elk City.
And you saw Gage as he approached the goal line. A lot of players might, untuck the football. He covers it up to make sure nothing's happening. He's not going to fumble this time, and he runs through the back of the end zone.
Darren Kane was giving chase. Nearly got there, but Porter crossed the goal line just ahead of him. And SNU on the verge of their 2nd win of the season. Ryan Reed's extra point is up, and it is good. Flag flies in from the line judge. We'll see what this is all about. Might have been offsides. There's a lot of standing around on the field with kind of some shrugged shoulders and some open palms as if, really, why are you calling that? Gage Porter up to 269 rushing yards today with 2 touchdowns. Really should be 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's more offense than they had total offense last week.
And it's going to be holding on SNU. Not sure who they got there. It did end with 9, but there's multiple guys out there that end with 9. Caleb Bates and Ethan Spurlock both out there. So Ryan Reed will try it again. This time it will be a 30-yard extra point. This one is wide right. A little bit of overstepping, and SNU now leads 41-17. And Reese, we had a great conversation with Coach Lambert earlier this week about just not being able to rely on the big plays, but today SNU really has been able to rely on the big plays.
Yeah, and when you can, it's a nice thing, because if we look at it, SNU hasn't had the luxury of having these long drives and taking their time and chewing clock, but they have hit on big plays. And when you hit on big plays, what it does is it gives your offense some time to rest, but unfortunately your defense is back out there real quick. And that's been the case for SNU, but it doesn't seem to have much effect on the SNU defense. They certainly don't look tired, aren't playing like it, and they just continue to make big plays.
Well, and we also had a great conversation about just heat in general, and certainly the cold front that's blown through here in central Oklahoma this week, making it just an absolutely perfect day for football out there. Certainly doesn't hurt the cause and draining the energy. So Ryan Reed kicking off right to left. Send this one high and deep. Fort will let that go into the end zone and through the end zone for a touchback. So Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line with 9:35 to go. So SNU on the verge of getting their first ever win over Arkansas Tech, and Reese, for a program that has now, 9:35 to go, we won't say has now done that, but looking to do that. How big is that? You've now checked off your first ever win against Southeastern, about to check off your first ever win over Arkansas Tech. What does that do for your program when you're knocking off all these firsts?
Yeah, I think what it really says is that we can compete, and of course you want to feel like that, and you do feel like that in a lot of games. But when you just look at flat out enrollment of these schools, Arkansas Tech has over 10,000 students undergrad, and you're looking at SNU, a school with maybe 1,200 students undergrad, and so you're starting to think that we're outmatched in enrollment and in resources, and you're playing these schools that are just so much bigger than you are. But like you said, Luke, a first-time victory against a school like this, I think it's just a statement that, hey, we can play with these bigger teams, these bigger schools. And, this isn't necessarily a first. Last year we saw a couple of first victories over teams that hadn't. There's a win against Harding a couple of years ago as well. And so SNU slowly knocking the different opponents off their winless chart.
2 runs for Caleb Beatty, net 17 yards. He has it again here on 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line, stacked up after a gain of about 3. They'll give him 2 up to the 44-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 8. So Beatty still running hard. He's very impressive back here for Arkansas Tech. Again, he came in 55 carries, 194 yards. And he's over 100 yards at 111 today. Almost doubling his season total. Cunningham running the option to the right. Wade gets the pitch, cuts upfield at midfield. And Noah Campbell takes him out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A little bit of yapping between Noah Campbell and Drew Wade. I believe that Noah Campbell has every right to do all the yapping today with the game that he's had today. 2 interceptions and a forced fumble, amongst a litany of tackles as well. So a 3rd and 1 for the Wonderboys at the SNU 49-yard line. The give is to Beatty, finds the first down, and goes down to the 45-yard line. Now some more yapping between the Arkansas Tech offensive line and Ethan Spurlock. Spurlock will take a seat. Myron Henderson will have to leave the field for a play due to losing his helmet. So 1st and 10, Arkansas Tech at the SNU 45-yard line. 7:20 to go, fourth quarter. Beatty again, tripped up by Landon Walker. Gain of 2. And now things are getting quite chippy. And Reese, like you mentioned, some of that a little bit of frustration, just pent-up frustration for Arkansas Tech as they will be moving to 0-6 once this one goes final.
And I think if you're Arkansas Tech, you're used to coming in and playing a team like SNU and just beating them every year. And, I can't say for certain, but there's certain teams that you look on your schedule and just chalk up as a win.
Beatty trying to stretch the play out, unable to do so. Jaden Simmons and Tristan McCubbins on the tackle there. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 43-yard line.
And so for Arkansas Tech, to a team that you're perennially beating every single season, a team that's always at the bottom of the conference, and now all of a sudden you come in and you can't beat, one of the lower level teams, at least record-wise, in the GAC, you can see some of that frustration playing out on the field now.
Cunningham back to pass, looking right, now being pressured. Trying to go to the sidelines, throws it out of bounds. Flags everywhere. Crowd doesn't like it. I think they're going to get it roughing the passer for a high hit. He certainly wasn't out of bounds yet.
No.
But I think they're going to get it, Jake Hansen perhaps, for a high hit to the quarterback. Let's see what the call is here. So Jake Hansen flagged for unnecessary roughness. Basically, he hit the guy too hard as he was certainly in bounds and had just released the football. So essentially, Jake Hansen just hit Cunningham too hard, but 1st and 10 for Arkansas Tech at the SNU 33-yard line now.
This game very much alive, although the scoreboard might say otherwise. Both teams very vocal. The fans are very much engaged, even though we're, 6 minutes left in the fourth.
The officials have been on a bit of a struggle bus as well. Had the ball spotted incorrectly. Math's hard sometimes. 15 yards. So now the ball spotted inside the 30 at the 28-yard line, which is the correct spot, I believe, but still. Anyway, 1st and 10, Arkansas Tech at the SNU 28-yard line. 6 minutes to go. Give is to Beatty, finds some space around the left side. Beatty still stretching out, still on his feet. And strong running from Caleb Beatty. 1st down at the SNU 14-yard line. So this one all over but the shouting, but certainly not over from a fundamental standpoint, Reese, and a lot of missed tackles on that run by Beatty.
Yeah, and Beatty's, he's a solid back. We already talked about it a little bit, but he's up 131 yards so far. Carried the ball 27 times, too.
And he's still dragging tacklers. Dylan Metter just had him by his sleeve and was just dragging along the ground. Bodies everywhere down there. As Beatty gets inside the 10, they're going to mark him down at the 8. So 2nd and 4 from the 8-yard line. Arkansas Tech can get a 1st down without scoring.
And coming in this game, both Beatty and Foote seem to almost have equal amount of carries. They want to run them both pretty evenly, but Beatty getting the bulk of the load.
Beatty again, cups at the middle. He's got the first down. Unable to be pushed into the end zone. They're going to mark him down at the 1 yard line, so it'll be first and goal at the 1 as we're under 5 minutes to go in this one. Arkansas Tech quickly spreads it out, and they give it to the guy who got him there, and he is in for the touchdown. So Beatty gets his second score of the afternoon. With 4:22 to go in this one, the lead now 41-23 in favor of SNU as Zumbo comes on for the extra point. And Reese, you see drives like that and the ability to pound the ball down the defense's throat, and you kind of wonder how Arkansas Tech's 0-6, or going to be 0-6.
Yeah, and you look at their offensive line especially. One of the biggest offensive lines we probably face, and I think when you have a team that has a lot of size like this, it might just start wearing on you late in the game. As a defense, you're used to getting knocked down by some of these big offensive linemen, and you're not tackling guys solo anymore. It's always these gang tackles because the backs are so big, and so I think you could kind of see there on that drive that this SNU defense might be a little worn down, in part to just the pure size that Arkansas Tech has.
So SNU looking to ice this one away, and I'd imagine we're about to see a little bit of Jarvis Davis here on this possession with 4:22 to go. Again, SNU leading 41-24. They've done it in a litany of ways. An 83-yard touchdown run and 68-yard touchdown run, both from Gage Porter. Two pick sixes, one from Noah Campbell, one from Jaquel Davis, and then a punt block returned for a touchdown. So Arkansas Tech all set up to onside this one. Hands team out there for the Crimson Storm. Looks like Zumbo's angling it toward the SNU sideline here. He does. Unable to get the hop, and it goes out of bounds before Landon Smith is able to get there. So that'll be SNU football, and the Crimson Storm looking to ice this one away. And again, their first win against Arkansas Tech, their second win of the season. And Reese, like we talked about, a lot of opportunities here in the back half of the schedule for SNU to pick up some wins against, really similar teams as far as just their abilities. There's a lot of flawed teams on the schedule. You look at like a team like Northwestern that has some good things about it and some not so good things. It's kind of an odd setup looking at the stats this week. They're number 1 in red zone defense, allowing teams to score just 50% of the time. They've only scored on 50% of their red zone, so they're first and last. Gage Porter's still in at quarterback, as looks like most of the starting lineup. Porter will run up the middle, and he gains 2 to the 42-yard line. As the clock continues to move, down to 4 minutes to go in this one. Next week, SNU will travel to Monticello to take on the Weevils. We'll have full coverage for you there. Kickoff at 3 o'clock down in Monticello. Have pregame starting at 2:30. Again, kickoff at 3. Sanders, the man in motion. Porter, stretch handoff to Shellmeyer, and just managed to get it into Shellmeyer's belly. Pickup of 1 there. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 42-yard line.
I'd assume maybe Coach Lambert unhappy with kind of how SNU's come out in the second half and wants to keep his starters in a little longer and see if they can put something together. And but it's interesting for sure to see Gage Porter and all the ones out here for SNU.
3:10 and counting for the Crimson Storm here, which lead 41-24. 3rd down and 8 Wide receiver either side, diamond formation. Nate Walker takes the handoff, going around the right side, follows the block of Christian Schellmeyer and picks up the first down. Flag comes in late. Not sure what this is going to be. Maybe a face mask?
I think they might have got Colby Branch on a hold.
It would be an interesting call depending on the spot. They misread the number. He said the hold was on number 2.
Yeah.
Obviously that was incorrect because number 2 was the ball carrier. Probably not a good day for these officials because the Great American Conference Commissioner Will Pruitt in the house. Bad timing for them.
There you go.
So they got the number correct now. So the spot foul makes it 3rd and 9 back at the 43-yard line. Again, diamond formation. And they run the exact same play the other way. Walker is going to be taken down and suplexed by Irvin for a loss on the play. Irvin got through the block of Christian Schellmeyer.
Good play by Irvin, but it's tough to do talking when the score is what it is.
And Irvin on the field doing the rock the baby motion at Nate Walker. Probably not the best time to do that when you're down 17.
Yeah.
But, you know, to each their own. To each their own. So 4th down and 10 at the 44-yard line for SNU after the loss of 1. Handshake line might be a little interesting this afternoon. So Ryan Reed on to punt. Thankful that he can punt with the win this time. Punting from their 44-yard line. Arkansas Tech's coming after this. There's nobody back. So SNU going to need to make sure the protection is good. Reed able to get up a nice high end-over-end punt. Josh Johnson is down there. And it's going to be a touchback because complete miscommunication on SNU's part. And that might be the first not so good thing that Noah Campbell's done today. Kind of stole that one away from Josh Johnson, who was in great position. So Arkansas Tech will take over 1st and 20 instead of their own 1. But either way, again, SNU leading 41-24 with 2:16 to go in this one. Just a really weird end of this one, Reese. Just people getting chippy and some boneheaded plays both ways. Just a weird deal. Wallace Foote going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration there from DeAndre Taylor. And Randy Williams into the game for the first time today. Bryson Cross also out there, along with Elijah Calhoun.
Randy Williams, high school teammate of Nate Walker, Hitchcock, Texas.
Wallace Foote tripped up by Williams, but kept his footing, and he picks up 8 out to the 28-yard line. Joshua Swafa out there as well for the SNU defense. Most of the starters still in for Arkansas Tech. So we're down to 1:20 to go in this one. Give is to Foote. finding some space over the left side of the line, and he's got the first down. Up to the 32-yard line. So we're down to 1 minute to go here in Bethany. Jaden Ridgway in for SNU now for the first time as well at safety. Coach Lambert emptying the bench a little bit here on defense. Foot carries. It's going to be taken down by DeAndre Taylor. And a late shove by an Arkansas Tech player, and that will finally draw a flag from these officials.
That one was just, it was blatant.
Yeah, just, again, frustration's definitely boiling over a little bit for Arkansas Tech. And that's going to be on the big left tackle, Cole Fritchen. And he will head to the bench after that boneheaded play.
Kind of a nice luxury for SNU. Haven't had a lot of games where they've been able to put in some of their young guys, and as the starters get to rest a little and cheer on some of the freshmen, they're getting to play here.
Give is to Smith, and Josh Johnson almost made the tackle. Jason Gully almost makes the tackle. Instead, Smith got space down the sideline in blockers, and he runs out of bounds up at the 44-yard line. Josh Johnson and Jason Gully nearly had Smith for a loss, but instead it's a 19-yard gain. 17 seconds to go. And this should be the final play of this one. Just a reminder, coming up right after the end of this game, we'll have full analysis and stats for you and look ahead to next week's game against Arkansas Monticello. Cunningham back to pass, floats it to the sideline. Going to be a catch over there. And number 80, Xavier Smith, down to the SNU 44-yard line.